Episode 2 of 6, Brake Inspection. So if you remember from the last episode on the oil filter, I said there was going to be 6 episodes. This is number 2, inspecting the brakes. So back on my spreadsheet, this is the front and rear brakes. We're going to check the fluid level. We're going to check the moisture content. And then we're going to take a look at the brake pads, see how they look. I just replaced them recently, so maybe they don't need anything, but it never hurts to check. All right, here we are down at the right front caliper. As you can see, there's a metal cover that covers up and allows ventilation for the brake pad. We're going to go ahead and lift that up. I'm going to use a plastic pry tool. Could use a screwdriver, but I don't want to scratch the paint. So just put it under there, give it a little bit of a lift, and then off it comes. Once that's lifted, you can see the brake pads and the rotor. Let me zoom in a little bit to make it easier to see. So here we are zoomed in. If you look closely, you will see right there is the brake rotor. So that's the part that spins with the wheel. On either side of the brake rotor, on the outboard side and inboard side, is the brake pad. And if you look closely, there's a small notch in the brake pad. That brake pad also that notch also works as a wear indicator. So as long as there's a bit of a notch left, you've got plenty of brake pad left. I just recently changed the front brakes, so these are fairly new. You may think they look a little thin, but they're designed to be this way, and it lasted about 30,000 miles. So as you can see, we still have plenty of brake pad left, so we're good to go from here. I'm going to zoom back out, and we'll put the metal piece back out. And it goes on the same way it came off. If you look, there's a little tab that goes at the bottom, and then one arm that goes at the top, and double arms that go at the bottom. Pretty easy. Just install it, push it in place, and it locks in. There we go. Front brake pad has been inspected. Left-hand side is the same way. It's a little harder to see with the camera, so I just showed you on the right-hand side. Next, we'll move on to the rear. All right, for the rear, you have to remove the saddlebag to get to the brake. So I'm going to show you how to remove the saddlebag. It's not difficult, but I figured I'd show you. First, you open it up. There's 2 bolts that go in that are easy to remove by hand. In my case, I also have a Rockford Fosgate Stage 3 sound system, so there's a wire that comes out for the bag lid speakers. So first step is to remove these. Pretty straightforward. Do the forward. And then the rear. I'm going to hold it in place. It's resting on the exhaust pipe. There's a rubber isolator. So I'm going to leave it on there. I'm going to close the lid and tilt it out, and that'll allow me to disconnect the electrical connection. So the electrical connection is behind the bag. I don't know how easy you can see, but it's just a quick disconnect plug. So I've removed the plug. So there we go. Move this out of the way, and that exposes the rear caliper. I'm going to set this on a soft surface so I don't scratch the paint. All right, with the bag removed, you inspect the rear brake a little bit different than the front. On the rear brake, you can actually see the friction material all the way from behind. I'm going to zoom in and point out the friction material. All right, so if we zoom in here, what you'll see, again, using a probe so you can see the difference, right there is the friction material. You still have quite a bit of material, and then behind that is the backing plate. So that is steel, and this is the actual friction material. So looking at the rears, we've got plenty of friction material left. No worries here. Next, we're going to go on to the fluid level and fluid moisture content. Before we go on to fluid level and fluid moisture content, let's go ahead and reinstall the saddlebag. Like I said earlier, the saddlebag sits on top of the exhaust. As you can see, there's a metal bar. You can see marks from the isolator that sits on top of it. So it doesn't sit directly on the exhaust. It sits up above on this metal bar. On the bottom of the saddlebag is a rubber isolator that sits on top. So we're going to go ahead and set it in place. Remember, I have the Rockford Fosgate sound system. So I'm going to reconnect that connector I showed you earlier. There we go. Now we're going to open it up, align the bushings with the threaded section of the J-nut. Start threading them in. There's the front started. Start the rear. And run them the rest of the way in. All right, next we're going to check the level and moisture content for both brakes. Here's the reservoir for the rear brakes. On this bike, it's really difficult to get to. It's in front of the exhaust, behind the shield inboard of the brake pedal. The only easy way I found to be able to undo the fasteners is using a stubby screwdriver. So going inside and loosening this. There's one screw. Now we have to be very careful because brake fluid is horrible on paint. It'll actually dissolve paint. So we're going to be very careful and remove both these screws. The outboard screw you can get with a regular screwdriver, which I'll use because it gives me a little bit more leverage. Pardon my hand, it's kind of hard to show this. Take both these screws out, loosen them until they're able to come out. Then I'm going to get a paper towel and put it around this because I don't want to spill any brake fluid in. So we're completely loose. Put paper towel all around it underneath. We'll take this loose and take a look. There's the plastic cap and then the diaphragm. Underneath the diaphragm is where the brake fluid is. It's loose. The level is okay. Fluid still looks clear, which is a great sign. Next, we're going to use a moisture meter to check how much moisture there is. If it is high, I'm going to do, let's see if we can see this here. Not very well. Put it down here. I have my work light here. So it shows 0% between 1 and 2. Anything over 3 and 4 means you should replace your brake fluid. So if this registers high, I'm going to do a separate video on how to bleed the brakes. So the way this works, there's 2 probes that check continuity across them. Turn the device on with a button on the top, and then we'll insert it down in there. So in this case, yeah, it looks like it is maybe 1%, just under 1%. So I'll go ahead and make a note on my spreadsheet that we are to spec. Let's put it back together. First, let's set the diaphragm in place. Just to be safe, I'm going to wipe off the top of that diaphragm. Looks like I got a little bit of brake fluid on the top. Like I said, brake fluid is awful on paint. It's also corrosive, so be very careful with it. All right, so brake fluid is corrosive, but it's also what's called hygroscopic, meaning that it will absorb water. That can actually work to your advantage. If you ever spill any, it comes off quite easily with just copious amounts of water. So garden hose or bucket. We'll start the outside and then we'll start the inside. Again, it's kind of awkward to do this while filming because I don't want to put my hands in the way. So I started it. I'm not going to tighten it. I'm going to do both at the same time. So there's the outboard into our small thing here. There's the inboard. I know my hand's in the way. Not much I can do about that. I'm going to tighten these up and then wipe it down. Now we're going to check the front brake fluid, just like we did the rear. So I'm going to remove my heat controller for my heated gear. The Velcro covers up the fact that they recommend using .4, so .4 it is. Just like before, we're going to go ahead and remove these screws. I've laid down a towel. The last thing I want is brake fluid on my beautiful green paint. Well, beautiful when it's clean. All right, so they're both loose. Next, paper towel, we're going to set the lid and the diaphragm out of the way. There's the lid. And being very careful not to get brake fluid on things I don't want it on. So this brake fluid looks just as clean as the rear. Let's get this off of the diaphragm. Fluid level is quite high. Let's go ahead and check the moisture level. Here's the moisture meter that we used before. 2 prongs. Turn it on. Insert it. Just around less than 1%. So it's still green. We don't have to bleed the brakes today. That's a good thing. Turn this back off again. Put everything back together. The diaphragm, being very careful. Not spill brake fluid anywhere. And one last wipe off. Make sure we're good. So as you can see, both the fluid level and the moisture content were pretty good with my brake fluid. I was expecting to have to change it because it's early in the spring and I ride through the winter. Evidently, I didn't need to. Also, the brake pads were in good shape. So she's ready for the next 5,000 miles. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you like what you see. Hit the bell and you'll be notified of more content. And as always, thanks for watching. Go far with Brent.